Gonna be slightly late, but that's okay because I got a fast car. I'm gonna try fast. Stop playing with me. Okay, second time. Okay. Okay, third time lucky. Let me guess, you are here for one of two reasons today. Number one is you are currently in this situation or have been in this situation before and you want to know how to get out of it. Or you're just watching this video because you think I'm like super cool. Yeah boy. Yeah boy. Either way, you're here today and today I'm going to be showing you how to jumpstart your car. Okay, so the first thing you want is a car that doesn't start. Step 2, keep trying to turn the car on and then you realize it doesn't turn on and then you realize you're gonna have to go to step 3. Number 3, get yourself some jump leads. Jump leads. Again, you can get these anywhere. You can get them in Halfords like I did. And what you're going to have is a black lead and a red lead. And for those of you who don't know, red is for your positive side of the terminals and black is for your negative side of the terminals. Step number 4, pop the hood. Or if you're British, pop the bonnet. Step number 5, struggle to find the bonnet catch. Step number 6. Open your bonnet. Health and safety tip, you want to make sure to watch your head on the bonnet because this is a solid piece of metal. It's gonna hurt. I'd also like to mention that batteries aren't always under bonnets. Sometimes it can be in the boot or sometimes it can also be under the scuttle panel. It might have some jump points such as on an Audi for example. They normally have like a little latch here. You pull it open and you can have jump points here. Okay, so your battery is normally going to be a rectangle or a big square. 2 terminals on it so you can see you've got your negative and your positive. There are 2 ways you can normally tell. The negative terminal will have a black lead or a black cap and the positive will have a red cap for example or a red lead. However, not all cars are going to have lovely red caps like this, so if it doesn't have a red cap to mark the positive terminal, a positive terminal will always have a plus here and a negative terminal is always going to have a little negative minus sign as well. So that is another way you can tell which is your negative and which is your positive terminal. Okay, now for step number 7, you're going to want to find yourself another car. Okay, so as you can see in this Audi, and with actually quite a lot of German cars, the batteries are normally in the boot. I've already lifted up the boot floor here and removed the spare wheel to be able to reveal the battery. And now I'm able to connect the jump lead from the battery in this boot to the battery on my car. Okay, so once you have 2 batteries, your flat one and a good working one on another car, it is time to get your jump leads. So you always want to start with putting your positive lead on first with both cars switched off. If we uncover the positive terminal, secure the positive lead to the positive terminal. Make sure that the metal contacts on here are making good contact with the metal on here. Otherwise, you're not going to get a proper circuit and it won't properly jumpstart the car. And then take the lead over and put it onto the positive terminal of your vehicle. And never put a positive to a negative unless you want to kill the car. Always make sure you go from positive terminal to positive terminal and negative terminal to negative terminal. Because not only will you melt the leads, you'll also fry your car. This girl's trying to jump her car and the whole thing is melted! Oh why are the jumper cables are straight up melting? No. Hold up. Cables! They're oh no! And then you grab your negative lead and we're just going to follow a nice circuit. So we're going from positive on the good battery to positive on the flat battery. So now we're going to go negative from the bad battery to the negative terminal on the good battery. And if your car, for example, only has a positive terminal at the front under the scuttle panel here, for example, just as a jump start point, you want to put the negative on an earth point. So you can always connect the negative terminals onto an earth point, such as your chassis. But because I do have a negative terminal, I'm going to connect the negative lead to the negative terminal on my flat battery and then connect the other end to the negative terminal on the good battery. And there we go, your leads are now set up and you're ready for the next step. And the next step being that you're going to sit in your car and do NAFL for about 5 minutes while letting your car run. Okay, so once you've got your car with the good battery running, you want to leave that for about 2 to 5 minutes. You don't have to, but I like to leave it running for about 2 to 5 minutes just to let that battery charge up a little bit. Okay, and once you've run your car with the good battery on, it is now time to try and start the car with the flat battery. Okay, and when you're trying to jump start your car, obviously leave the cables connected and leave the other car running because at the moment the other car with a good battery is working as a power supply to help start your car. And just like that, you have now jump started your car. Okay, so you also want to make sure that you leave both cars running for a couple of minutes with the cables connected, just to let your car with a flat battery take some charge away from the car with a good battery. And then once that's been running for about 2 minutes, you're safe to disconnect the cables. Okay, and if your car battery does keep going flat, it could be one of two things. It could either A, be your battery that could be completely flat and bad and it won't store any charge at all because the cells inside the battery are bad, or it could be that your alternator isn't working, so it's not charging the battery, so it just keeps going flat. So if your car battery does keep going flat either daily or excessively, like every other day, every other third day, make sure to have a look at your battery and the alternator to make sure that it isn't some sort of underlying issue. Okay, and after your cars have been running for about 2 to 5 minutes, you can now disconnect the cables, and make sure you disconnect the cables with both of the cars running. Don't worry, you're not going to die from electric shock. You're going to be fine. Just do not touch both of the cables together while they're connected to the car and running, unless you want to taste the wrath of Zeus in your hand. Okay, so to disconnect your cables, you want to do it in the reverse order that you put the cables on. So we're going to start with a negative on the good working battery and just disconnect it. And then we're going to come over here and disconnect it on the battery that was flat. Then we're going to disconnect the positive from the car that was flat. Ow. These are stiff as anything, so that spring back, it didn't shock me, I promise. Okay, and then you just come over here and disconnect it from the working battery. And if you just let it sit there and run up for a couple of minutes just to let the alternator charge it up so it doesn't go flat again the next morning, but you've jump started your car. And because we're in a cost of living crisis, I'm going to turn this off because it's using fuel up. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my video. As always, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something new today. And I hope that if this situation happens to you, you now are going to know how to fix it. But jump leads are definitely one of those things that you should always have in your car, because trust me, they are going to come in handy at the most random of times. You could just be in a Tesco car park, and rather than having to call up the AA, you could just be like, yo, Mr. Guy in the car parking space next to me, can I borrow your car to jump my car? You know what I mean? Always have jump leads in your car because they do come in handy. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you do want to see more content like this, click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to watch my videos. But that is it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all on the next Workshop Wednesday. But for now, peace.